Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a little longer than I wanted. Work has been a little busier than anticipated. I've been traveling a little bit more often, and so I'm further, at least in my mind, away from where I need to be for our Department 56 Christmas Lane Village. We did manage to get most of our house decorated. We got the tree up, we've got all the other decorations up. So the house looks really good, but I'm behind, at least in my opinion, I'm behind on the Department 56 Village stuff. So with that, I'm going to jump right in. I've done some work to try to get myself poised. I'm going to be out again one day, all day this coming weekend. So that gives me today, tomorrow, and then the rest of the weekend after I get back on Saturday to try to get some of this stuff knocked out. So a couple of quick videos probably coming at you, so stay tuned for that. Here's where we are so far. So I'm building a Christmas Lane Village, and in the process of doing so, it's going to go on our dining room hutch. It's about 11 to 12 feet long. Great space to display a village. That's where I had Manor Row set up for Halloween. And so doing the same concept. It's going to be 10 foot long. The village itself is going to be 10 foot long. Started with these 1 inch by 2 foot by 2 foot sections of XPS foam we picked up at Home Depot. I did measure to have the cords and the backdrop and everything in the back. I cut 3 inches off of all of these. So I've got 5 of these, and now they measure 21 inches in depth from the front to the back, and then obviously 24 inches across. And so you'll have 5 of those set up like that, okay? So that's how that's going to be addressed. So I got those cut down on the Proxxon. Those are ready to go. I took the leftover 3 inches that I had on each of those pieces, and then I was able to cut out a 1/4 inch by 2 foot sections of XPS foam for my sidewalk. I've painted these black already just to save myself a little bit of time. I still need, you can see close up, there's still a few little areas that need to be touched up with some paint, so that'll all happen. But I tried a new technique with this. I took the Hot Wire Foam Factory tools. I took the straight knife. Instead of using a pencil to carve the lines, I used the Hot Wire Foam tool, the straight knife from Hot Wire Foam Factory. On the lowest setting, mark these out in the center. Back up a little bit. Mark these out in the center at 12 inches, and then 2 inches in each direction all the way across. So you got 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. And then essentially just laid that knife at the lowest setting right down in a straight line on the mark, and was able to get the marks. I think it looks a lot better. These are going to be really good looking sidewalks. And then use the tin foil on the rolling technique. You guys have seen me do that before, to kind of texture these up to look like sidewalks. So very pleased so far with the way these turned out. So I need to get these finished and painted. I'll be using the 2 or 3 step process that you've seen me do before. So I'm not going to waste your time or my time trying to video that, but essentially I'll use a dark gray, somewhat thick on the top layer there. Then I'll use a rainy day gray. That's my preferred choice of the 2 color mix, in a very light dry brush across the top of that. And then even more of a light dry brush with some white over top of that to kind of give it some pop and some depth to where it looks a little more realistic. So I've got all of the sidewalks cut out and painted for the most part. I've got to finish those. You can see I've got obviously 5 of those to go onto the display base. In addition to that, I was able to cut small strips of foam. I did all the cutting so far, minus these lines that we talked about. I did all the cutting on the Proxxon foam cutting table. These are going to be the curb that is going to sit on the far side of the road, across from the sidewalk with a cobblestone matting in between. I still have to texture these with the tin foil, and I still need to paint them black afterwards, and then get them ready to color in the gray color as well. So that's where I'm at on the actual base itself. I've just started those. I'm going to put these aside and bring a couple more pieces over. The other pieces that I want to show you are a little bigger, and these are cut to 4 feet, okay? And this is white XPS foam. It's got the silver insulation on the back. It had the white insulation on the top. Again, I got a big 4x8 sheet of this at Home Depot. And I used all this cutting here was done with the Hot Wire Foam Factory tools. The straight knife for the stairs that are cut, you guys have seen me do that before. Those were cut in using the freehand routing tool, just shaped into a stair shape, and then cut down 2 notches to do the stairs. I use a little bit of sandpaper on the sides to kind of round these corners just a little bit. And so that is how this is starting to look. Now I painted the whole front, and then for the stonework, and you guys have seen me do this before, I use the handheld Hot Wire Foam Factory engraving tool on about a medium setting, and then was able to just freehand this brickwork and this stonework in there. Painted the whole thing black. You can kind of see up to about here was black all the way across. Then went across with the same technique that I explained for the sidewalks, the dark gray, the rainy day gray, and white, to get the brick texture and the look. I think it looks pretty good. It's not too bad. And then I took some white paint. For winter, I knew we were going to be doing a lot of painting, so I bought a can, I think it was a quart of just flat white paint. Didn't require any mixing or anything like that at the hardware store. And I'm using that to kind of cover up some of this black. Now, obviously, I may need another coat to do that, but then this is going to be all glue and the snow flurries, the fresh fallen snow from Department 56, or snow flurries from Michael's, or the snow of your choice, obviously, would go on top of this and get ready for the homes and the houses to sit on here. So I've got 2 of these. They're each 4 foot long, so this will be 8 feet of the 10 feet, right? So one's a left side and one will be a right side. Now I've got brickwork on the side. I do not have brickwork on this side, nor have I got it painted yet. I think I'm just going to paint it white, and that's going to be in one of the corners. You won't see it. This you will see, because it's going to butt up against a 1-inch piece. This is green. We got this at Lowe's. But it's the 1-inch XPS foam. I ran out of white, so I had this laying around, so I used it. Same concept, use the Hot Wire Foam Factory tools to shape it, to cut it, the whole 9 yards. And so this is cut to the right size, and this is going to sit in between the 2-inch sections. And what that is, that layout to me is going to be, this is going to be a Christmas tree farm in the middle of this small kind of a street display that's going to be lined with Department 56 Christmas Lane houses, and some bigger houses and things like that. So it looked like a normal neighborhood street with a Christmas tree farm in the middle of it. It's going to be very similar, quite honestly, to the Trick or Treat Manor row that I had. It had a pumpkin patch, if you remember, in the middle of it. Same concept here with a Christmas tree farm in the middle. And so that's where I'm at with cutting and painting and getting this ready to display. The next steps that you're going to see is I'm going to have to kind of set everything out and put the houses that I plan on using on the foam. I'm going to have to trace those out, so where I know to put snow and where not to put snow. I'm going to put some sidewalks leading up from or walkways, whatever you want to call that, leading up from the steps to the front of the house. So I've got to measure those and cut that out. And then I'm going to take the joint compound that you've seen me use on the first diorama, and I'm going to put some of that joint compound to represent snow drifts and kind of brushed off snow from the sidewalks coming up to the house. and things like that to sort of help add to the realism. So you'll see me do that. And then once all that's dry, then we're back to the normal, put the glue down, put the snow down, and let that dry and cure. And at that point, I think we'll be about ready to set it up. So hopefully that gives you an idea of where I'm at. Again, I apologize for the lack of videos earlier in the week. I was a little busier with work than anticipated. And if I want to keep collecting Department 56 houses, I got to keep working. So there is that, and so hopefully you are caught up now to where I'm at. I certainly appreciate you tuning in. If you like the video, as always, click the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Again, it helps keep me motivated to keep these videos churning out. Just over 900 subscribers. Very humbled about that. You guys are amazing. Keep the questions coming also. I try very hard to answer all those questions, even when I'm on the road. I'm always monitoring, and so if you have a question, you have a comment, you want to know something, ask me in the comments. I'll get back to you certainly as soon as I can. So until next time, take care of yourselves. We'll see you real soon.